Here on Mets Hot Stove, Jim Duquette, and now joined by David Leonard of Newsday, John Harper of the Daily News. I'm going to kick off this segment with a question that does put you on the hot seat a little bit here, because the GM, Sandy Alderson, at the general manager's meetings recently said you did not earn the starting job in 2018 by what you did late in the season in 2017. How did you interpret those comments?
I'm not taking anything for granted. I know I didn't perform like I know I'm capable of. I know I didn't perform like I would like. And I'm definitely going to work my butt off this spring training, go into spring training in shape, go into spring training, I'm ready to win the job. And I'm going to, take it all and just really work and just work.
Dom, it always struck me with young players. I mean, how do you not put too much pressure on yourself? I mean, you're down in Vegas, you're a first-round pick, you're playing well down there. Like, how do you balance it being a learning experience in the major leagues and knowing you have to kind of perform too? To me, that's like the hardest thing, right?
I think that I was very fortunate, coming into the situation and be able to play, over 6 weeks in the big leagues and it not necessarily be as much pressure as like perform now because you're going to get sit down, because the way the team was going, it was more like, just learn how to play up here. So I think that really helped me a lot, because it would be times that I'm putting pressure on myself and, you're going to get frustrated. That's just human nature. You're going to get frustrated when you're doing bad. So I think that the older guys in the clubhouse, Cespedes and Reyes and, Cabby, they really took me under their wing and, they talked to me a bunch and calmed me down and make sure that I was learning and paying attention to certain details. So I think that that when they really took me under the wing, that's when I got to really focus and learn some stuff.
Well, just following up on that a little bit, Dom, you've always been a high average hitter. Yeah. You didn't hit for high average in the majors. I know you said earlier the only way to prepare for big league pitching is to face it. Yeah. But was it that much different if what you'd faced in the minors, or was it more about you, mechanics, maybe putting pressure on yourself? Was it a combination?
It was a combination of everything that comes with it. You get caught up, like you said, the first round pick, whatever, and, having to hear that all the time. You come to the city, fans expect you to come right off the bat and perform, which, I should have. And, it just gets...
You do hear it. It does. Yeah. It certainly seeps in there, yes?
Yeah, it seeps in back there, but, I just really give credit to the people in that clubhouse to really help me get through it, and they really did a good job, and I'm super excited for next year.
Do they, from what Sandy had said earlier, Dom, when somebody upstairs says that, does that like motivate you? Like, does that give you a chip on your shoulder and say, hey, mate, how do you interpret that? Like,
definitely. I grew up my whole life beating odds and overcoming odds. I come from LA. I'm from the inner city, South Central. I mean, I'm not trying to come up here and, get super emotional, but, it does motivate me when he says stuff like that. And he should say stuff like that because it's the truth. It's not like he's saying a bunch of lies. He's saying the truth. So, me as a young man, of course, I'm going to listen to the truth, and I'm going to implement it and work on stuff to get better.
You mentioned you grew up in South Central. Yeah. Some tough going. Yeah. Your parents both drug issues over the course of your young life. How difficult was the upbringing and your quest to get to the big leagues and the fact that you did get and have gotten to the big leagues?
It was pretty difficult seeing them go through what they did, struggling and trying to make sure that I'm able to have, the newest pair of shoes, or trying to make sure that I'm, have a nice cell phone. It was weeks in LA where, in times in LA, my senior year of high school, our phone bill was off for, multiple months. So to see them grind and struggle and how hard they really work to be able to put me in this position, I definitely, owe them everything, owe them the world, and that's why I work so hard. And that's why, people look at me and say, I feel like nothing bothers you. Why are you so happy? Like,
You've been through tough times.
Yeah. So, sure. Me struggling for months in the big leagues and fans yelling at me, it's fine. I mean, that's okay, because I know what I'm capable of doing.
Are you driven, though? I mean, I think I've heard fans say, is this guy really, does he want it bad enough? I guess that's...
I'm driven. I'm for sure driven, because I don't want to go back to where I came from. So I know that it's my time is now. It has to be now. I came up, I have my 6 weeks, and now it's time to really show them, or else, they'll find somebody else to replace me. And that's just sports, period.
You have good perspective, obviously, too. How about, I know Sandy sat down with most players. I think he sat down with you, too, at the end of the season, just to talk, you know, and he has, obviously, each player's best interest at heart to talk about this winter. What was your takeaway from that meeting?
It was great. It was great. You know, we had a great conversation. You know, we both agreed that, you know, I didn't, you know, perform like I would like. And like he said, the job isn't mine. It's not security. It's not mine. So, you know, and I didn't leave that meeting upset or butthurt or mad or angry. You know, I left it, you know, motivated. I left it, you know, because being around those guys, being around this, just being in the big leagues, you have everything, you know. And this lifestyle just, it's amazing. It's amazing when you're playing in the big leagues and you hit a home run and the crowd's going wild. It's like the best feeling in the world. So why wouldn't I work that hard to feel that feeling again and for years to come? So I'm definitely driven.
So great to visit with you, Dominic.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here in the studio. Have a good holiday, rest of your holidays.
Thank you.